What is going on, you guys? Shadow X here, back at you for another Dokkan battle video, and in this one we're here to do my breakdowns of 2021, all of my different best and worst list. So I figured for the first one, I'm not sure how many of these I'm going to do, just because it just depends on how many different categories I want to partake in. But I figured, I think a couple of these might be interesting to take a look at. So for the first list that we're going to take a look at here is going to be the worst units on release for 2021. Now I want to make myself very clear, this is not the worst units overall of 2021. This is specifically when these units released that we're taking a look at. So that I want to do this just to differentiate myself from other YouTubers or other content creators that have, created lists that are very similar, because I just don't want this list to be the exact same units as those other people's videos, right? So I think this is a good way to differentiate myself from others, right? And again, I also want to make myself very clear, when you make these kind of videos, it's very subjective, right? Everyone has their own opinions. What you think isn't going to be the same agreement in terms of what someone else might think. And, it's okay to have your own thoughts when making these videos, right? Because, again, nobody's perfect. Not everyone is going to agree with what you think. And you're not going to agree with what anyone else might think, right? We all have our own opinions about life. And it is what it is in that regard. So, with all that said and out of the way, let's go ahead and get into my opinions on who I think are the worst units on release for 2021. So, starting off at number 10, we have Int Cabe. So let's actually go ahead and switch over and talk about him and why I think he's one of the worst on release here. So, Cabbie here. Number one, his leader skill is not really a real leader skill in the current meta of Dokkan. His super attack here, he only raises attack, and then he has a unit super attack, which depends on having a Vegeta in the same turn to even get off. He does stack defense when you get his unit super attack off, which is good. But here's the problem with Cabe. So he's a Universal Survival Saga support, which is fine, but they want you to use him with Vegeta. That's really where you get this guy's power at. Keep in mind, his stats are kind of on the lower end. So if you're not using him with a Vegeta unit, he sucks. I'm sorry, but he's not good. He doesn't cut it for a banner unit, right? And I think another problem with him is if you're not running him with a Vegeta unit, you're better off just running him with Universe 6 characters. But his links, I don't know, he's wonky. You're not running him with Universe 6. You want to run him alongside a Vegeta unit to get his full passive off, right? For him to look at his best. Because in difficult content, if you're not able to run a Vegeta next to him, this boy he's ass. I'm sorry, but he's not good. This guy sucks. And guess what? Another problem that I have with him is the only Vegeta you can even use with him is LR Int Vegeta, Evolution Int Vegeta, right? And guess what? They only share two links. They share Tournament of Power and Fierce Battle. So they want you to use him with a Vegeta unit. There's no Vegeta units outside of that Vegeta that you can even use with him, and they don't even link well together. So it just leads to not being able to get his unit super attack off. So for difficult content, long events, you're not stacking defense, you're only getting the attack buff, right? So his numbers aren't going to be that impressive. He's going to fall off defensively if you aren't relying on a Vegeta in the same turn. His design is just wonky. It's quirky. I don't know really what they were thinking with him. I think they should have made him a lot better. Honestly, I get he's from the fight against Vegeta in the whole Universe 7 vs 6 tournament arc, right? That's where this guy is from. But they should have just based him off just his performance in the Universal in the Tournament of Power, right? I think that would have been better. Just him having to rely on a Vegeta unit hurts him, I think, and that's really the whole problem that I have. I'm just not a fan of these characters that rely on having to have specific units in the same turn. Because keep in mind, the categories also that he's on, Pure Saiyans, you can get that off of Vegeta, right? Universal Survival Saga, you can have Vegeta with him. Universe 6, nope. Bottom Master and Disciple, sure. And then Defenders of Justice, no, there's no, in Evolution Blue Vegeta isn't on that category, so again, he's very restricted into where you can have a Vegeta alongside him in the same turn. It just hurts him. And again, he relies heavily on that aspect of having Vegeta in the same turn to get him to look at his best. So there's number 10. Let's talk about number 9. So number 9 here we have Tech, Zarbon, and Dodoria. So let's go ahead and talk about them. They basically fall in the same exact situation as Int Cabe. This right here is the main problem with them. They want you to run this unit alongside a Frieza in the same turn. Keep in mind, guess what? This unit's links suck. Upon release, their stats are, look how low their stats are, dude, they suck. They were unrunnable upon release. They want you to rely on having a Frieza in the same turn, but they don't even link well together. The categories that this unit is on, there's just better options. Planet Dynamic Saga, you can get a Frieza. Space Traveling Warriors, Terrifying Conquerors, you can get a Frieza, but guess what? Those 2 categories are dead. And you're not running this unit on those categories. There's just better options. And then on top of that, they gave this unit an easy A, and guess what? This unit still sucks. They're very underwhelming. I don't know. This unit is a miss. And even furthermore, they are the only Zarbon and Dodoria card in the game outside of an SR or R. So the fact that they don't have anyone to compete with outside of themselves hurts this unit, because we're not going to be getting another Zarbon and Dodoria unit probably for a very long time, if not ever. So, and I guess even to add to the point of all of this is, which hurts them even more, is the fact that they're, guess what typing they are? Extreme Tech. On Extreme Tech, you're not running this unit. Look at their links. They don't link with hardly anyone on Extreme Tech. So, where are you using this unit? You're not. They're just not good enough. They don't cut it with their stats. They suck. This unit just overall sucks. And their Easy A really didn't do much for them, because they're relying on a Frieza, which they don't even work well with. So it's I don't understand the point of this unit. And their leader skill sucks. They lower attack and defense on Super Attack, which is fine, I guess. But yeah, there's nowhere to run this unit, and they solely depend on having a Frieza with them to look mid, to look okay, to look decent for a 2021 release. It just doesn't cut it. I'm sorry, but this unit is very situational. They're very similar in wanting to have a specific unit in the same turn. They kind of fall in the same category as Cabbie, unfortunately, of that requirement. So for that, they get to make this list at number 9. So there is Tech, Zarbon, and Dodoria, a very underwhelming and poor unit on release, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and talk about number 8 here. So number 8, we have, oh, I forgot to switch over, my bad. Okay, let's switch over. Number 8, spoiler, is Reps of Universe 7. Okay, so this unit is just completely unnecessary on release. I get the whole theme of the 60th anniversary was Tournament of Power, Reps of Universe 7 specifically, but let's just pull up that category. Do you guys think this category is already good? Just take a look at who's on this category. Actually, I want to switch over to in-game to make my point with this unit. Take a look at the first 8 units on this category. Look how strong this category is. This unit literally just didn't need to be released. They're not making this category that much more powerful. This category was fine without them. That's the problem that I have with this unit. It's just an unnecessary unit. I get the whole point of the theme of the celebration. It's a cool card. The concept is cool. But this unit is just unnecessary. I feel like there's no point in this release. They don't need to be on this category for the fact that they're buffing this category. Like, this category is fine without them, right? Um, there's not really like a lot of negatives with this unit outside of the fact that they're restricted to one team. They require having to have 5 reps of Universe 7 characters on the team, so like they're very limited. To make them look at their best, they really want like a 17 alongside in the same turn, and guess what? Physical 17 is really the only 17 that you can run to get this off, right? And Physical 17 has aged, and he just doesn't cut it in this meta. Once he EZAs, he's going to be a problem, right? Another thing I think that hurts this unit is they're relying on getting Rainbow Key Spheres, but guess what? They don't even change Rainbow Key Spheres, and on Reps of Universe 7, there's no Rainbow Orb Changers. So if you're not getting Rainbow Orbs for them, they're not looking at their best. And again, you want a 17 with them to get their links active, because guess what? They have Android links for the most part, so that's where you're going to be getting a lot of their links active, right? I'm not knocking this unit. This is a very good unit when they're on Reps of Universe 7. And like, I guess the best situation, if you want to run them as a leader, you can. But LR, Goku, and Frieza are the best lead for Reps of Universe 7, right? And then obviously, like, Universal Survival Saga, there's better leads, and you're probably not running this guy on that team. Like, I don't know, there's just better options. This unit is just a pointless release in my opinion. So they are sitting on number 8 on our list. There's Reps of Universe 7. So let's go ahead and talk about number 7 here. Number 7, actually, you know what? We're going to pull up 6, 5, and 4, because I feel like basically the argument is the same for all of these characters. It's no shock here. Gohan and Frieza, Gohan and Piccolo, and then 17 and Frieza basically all have the same exact situation. All of these characters are basically unnecessary because they are all restricted to one team, Reps of Universe 7, really to make them look at their best. And guess what? They're just not good enough. There's better options. Like, where are you running these guys? Are you running them over the first 8 characters that we saw on Reps of Universe 7? Like, no, you're not. Like, they're all on other teams, but they're just wonky. Like, 17 and Frieza are very wonky, right? They have this stupid ass like chance, or they get this, which Evolution Blue Vegeta gets, which I hate. Like, chance perform a critical hit is fine. Then they have this, reduce damage received by 7% within the same turn. Like, so they lose that each time they reappear. Like, they have to keep rebuilding that up. Like, it's dumb. Like, this I hate this unit. I don't know what it is about them, but I just don't like them. And then like Gohan and Frieza are restricted to Reps of Universe 7 to get their entire secondary passive off, which I don't think is good, because then they're just relying on the first part of their passive. And then keep in mind they're kind of like low stats here. They're not like super impressive. I just think overall, like, these units are just mid. Basically, a chance to guard. I hate that mechanic. If you can get it off, you win. If you don't, you die. That's basically how that works. Again, because they want you to run the scene on Reps of Universe 7, because that was the whole theme of the 6th-year anniversary. They're just restricted in that way, and I just think these units, upon release, were just completely unnecessary because of the fact of how powerful the Reps of Universe 7 team already was. There's really no point for these characters' release, given the time that they dropped, right? So that is why all 4 of these units get to be on this list. They're basically all in the same situation, right? You can pretty much intertwine them between these spots, I feel like. But those are my picks for 8, 7, 6, and 5. So let's go ahead and talk about the number 4 slot here. Alright. Number 4. We have... oh boy. This is going to be a long one. LR Super 17. This guy just pisses me off. Every time I just have to play with him, I get frustrated. Oh my god, dude. They were drunk when they made this guy. There's just so much. I mean, you honestly could put this guy at number 1. Like, for real. Like, easily, right? Let's go ahead and talk about 17 here. Our boy, Super 17. Okay, so where do we even begin? This guy has so many problems with him upon release. So number 1, he leads GT bosses, and I'm actually going to pull up. Well, I don't want to spoil it. No, we'll save it for later. So he leads GT bosses and androids category. So number 1, there's like 500 androids category leads, which we didn't need. His super attack effects suck. Lowering defense is pointless. He does have, his 18 key, again, just lowering defense. His super attack effects are just worthless. So that's one issue with him. Again, he leads the GT bosses category, but guess what? He doesn't have big bad bosses, which every unit on that category has, so he has no synergy with that team. They want you to run him with androids, but guess what? The time of his release, the android category was completely dead. So, you're not running that team. So, again, you're not running him on GT bosses because he just doesn't work with the team at all, and then you're not running him on androids because that category is dead. So, this guy literally had no use at all. There was no relevant use. Now, however, with the recent updates of, the free-to-play LR androids, EZA, the Trenchcoat and Hellfighter 17s, they got their EZAs. All the free-to-play various, 18s and 17 units got their EZAs. They've massively buffed and revamped the android category, which have all significantly helped this guy out. So he's definitely now not as bad as he was on release. He's definitely gotten love. He's gotten buffs, which he's needed. But his design, more so than anything, hurts him over all of what I just said, right? It just sucks because, this guy should have been the best extreme unit when he released, and he was just completely dead. He was worthless. He was like so poorly designed that he was just unrunnable at the time when he released. So this guy is at number 4, but I feel like you could even put him at number 1 as just the worst design unit on release because he just has so many flaws. You take a look at his kit here. His super attack effects suck. His leader skill is worthless. They want you to run him like alongside Target Goku and like GT bosses characters, but he shares no synergy with. He was dead. On the Android team, you couldn't even run that team because it was dead. Like, there's just so many design flaws. And then, like, another thing that's really stupid is, like, he can look really solid defensively, but guess what? Like, he doesn't nullify key-based super attacks, which is his whole entire gimmick in the show. Like, GT Goku and 18 are firing key blasts at him for 10 minutes straight, and he's just nullifying that shit. Guess what? Those morons didn't decide to give him that ability, which I don't understand why, because he would be so much better. He's strictly just relying on his defense in the beginning, which is fine, and then, if you can get his active skill off, which is good, 17% by one turn, just fine. I don't know, man. And then, like, his links, he has Android links, so they want you to run him on Android team on release, which was dead. So, where are you getting these links off? On GT bosses? Like, no, you're not. Like, this guy doesn't have big bad bosses, which hurts him so bad, because he'd be a lot better with that link. This guy is just a mess. They were drunk when they made this guy. I have no idea what the hell they were thinking. I just will never understand. Every time I have to use this unit, I get pissed off. Just looking at him on this list pisses me off. I can't go a day without being frustrated with this guy, and it pisses me off. I mean, I will say, with the recent buffs that he's gotten because of the Android category, like, he's better now. This isn't a bad unit. People mistake him because he's so poorly designed for him just being bad, and he's not bad. Like, he's a good LR. It's just because of his design, he's not what he should have been on release. He should have been the best extreme unit on release, right? So there's my issues with 17. Dude, I could go all day with 17. Like, it's actually just like a novel with 17 and how bad they made him. It's so laughable. But we have other units to talk about on this list, so let's go and break down who I think number 3 is on this list. Alright, so sitting at number 3, another laughable unit, literally LOL. Poor Piccolo, man. This guy. Oh my god. Piccolo. Okay, so number 1 with Piccolo, as we know, he shares the same name as every other Piccolo in the game, so already that hurts him on release. Let's go and pull up Piccolo here. Okay, so the way they designed him, they basically designed him as a Planet Namek support, but guess what? He doesn't even work that well on the team because of his links. He's, recovering 6% HP per key obtained, but if you're not getting that, that's pointless. That's not even that much. Like, dude, okay. They released this guy. They dropped a collection of battle epic event stage, and they want you to run it with like Planet Namek Saga. So I took this Piccolo, and guess what? I had him in slot 3. He was getting his ass cooked. Dude, this guy at Rainbow level is sitting at 100k defense, putting up 1 million attack stats. This is literally all he provides. The Planet Namek support, which is fine, it's helpful, but like he doesn't even work on the category. It's like he sucks. Like this guy sucks. He's so bad. And on top of that, what makes him even more mid is the fact that we have to compare him to his counterpart release on the other banner, which was Third Form Frieza, who is like 1,000 times better than this guy. Third Form Frieza is ridiculous. Dude's putting up 5, 6, 7, 8 million attack stats, doing 3 super attacks, sitting at 400k defense, and this guy is barely cracking 100k defense with his 1 million attack stats. Like, the weighing scale is like, Frieza is so heavy, and then this guy is just like, it's so one-sided. Like, I don't understand, like, why did they make this Piccolo so bad? And then, like, on top of that, like, he shares the same name with every other Piccolo, so guess what? You know, if you encounter a better Piccolo, you're not running this guy. You're picking the better Piccolo every time. Like, this guy has no use in the game. Like, he actually sucks. Like, he's so bad. He was so bad on release. This guy's a laughing stock. He was so bad. Oh my gosh, man. I don't know what they were thinking of this unit. Because, you know, his counterpart is just 100 times better. And then on top of that, guess what unit they released after Third Form Frieza? Heart Virus Goku. Then after that, 19 and 20, right? This Piccolo isn't even in the same class. He's not even in the same realm. He's not even in the same tier. Not even close. Like, this guy is complete ass. Like, this guy has nothing good going for him outside of his Planet Namek Saga support. But like, guess what? In a year, that category is gonna be dead. So you're not running this guy. Like, his release was completely worthless. I don't get it. Like, this guy deserves to be high on the list. Alright, let's move on to the next unit here. Alright, so starting at number 2 on this list. This might be a surprise to people. A lot of people might like hate me for this, but the LR Shadow Dragons on release. Oops, I have them pulled up. My bad. All right, let's switch over to them. Get rid of this ad. All right, this is the main problem with the LR Shadow Dragons. Number 1, their Battlefield LR. So it takes forever to rainbow. Number 2, they're the most expensive Battlefield LR, so they're really hard to get. You need to grind Battlefield, a lot of Battlefield, to get currency to get this unit. Number 3, when they released, they introduced a dead category in GT bosses. You couldn't even run the category. It was dead. It wasn't even it's not even a real leader skill. It's 130%. Like, it's trash. Like, their leader skill is ass. Like, you actually can't rainbow the unit. They're super hard to get, and they introduce a leader skill that is unrunnable. For that, they get to be number 2 on this list. I'm sorry, you guys can hate me for it, but yeah. This is a good unit, but here's the problem. How many categories are they on? Can you guys count? Can you guys see how many categories they're on? Where are you using this unit? They have nowhere to be ran. GT Bosses is dead. Joint Forces, at the time, wasn't very good. It's definitely a lot better now. And Shadow Dragon Saga was dead. It's still dead. So this, they have nowhere to be ran. Like, I don't use this unit ever. And it, you know, we're 1 copy away from being able to rainbow them, which we'll be able to at the time of me recording this video, will be the next Battlefield season. But you can go ahead and rainbow them, but they're just gonna be sitting collecting dust in your box because they don't have a spot to be ran. The GT Bosses category is dead. Nobody's running this category. Shadow Dragon Saga is dead. This category sucks. Joint Forces, there's better options. And it's unfortunate because like they're pretty solid LR. Then they have this like bullshit active skill. You have to get hit the 7th turn from the start of battle. You're not seeing that ever. Like, their active skill condition sucks. Like, I hate it. But they are GT Bosses category support again, which is a dead category. So like, there's no point in this release. Like, this is horrible. Like, why would they design this unit like this? Like, they just, and then also alongside like LR17, when they dropped him, they just dropped him by himself and gave him no help. So LR17 was unrunnable, and then this unit basically was unrunnable. So like you could really intertwine these guys between 2 and 3 or 2 and 4, however you want. They basically share the same problems. LR17's kit is way worse. They were not thinking straight with their heads when they designed 17. But this unit, in terms of like release, basically it was just unrunnable. So we'll see. Once they get more categories into the game, I would definitely like to see, like, I don't even know, dude, what categories this unit could probably end up on, but they need help badly in that department because there's just no spot to use this unit. So there's no point of them even being in the game. On top of the fact that we can't rainbow them yet. So, I don't know. They're sitting at number 2 on my list. At number 1 here, I don't know if you guys can even guess number 1, but it's actually a free-to-play unit. So, it's not... I'm sure a lot of players probably, watching this video wouldn't expect a number 1 unit to be a free-to-play unit, but let's take a look at who I have at number 1 here. So, number 1 is none other than World Tournament Kid Vegeta. This guy. What in the hell is the point of this unit? They made this unit so bad. Like, I know he's free to play, he's a World Tournament character, but guess what? You have to grind the World Tournament to get him. You have to imprison yourself for 3 days of straight hell to get this guy. And there's no point. There's no point of getting this guy. He actually provides nothing. He's useless. Let's just break this guy down. I know he doesn't have an awakening yet, but guess what? When he gets his awakening, he's going to be dead. He's still going to suck. So his super skill is complete ass. We're not even going to read it because it's so bad. His super attack here, he greatly raises defense for 1 turn, causes supreme damage with a medium chance of stunning the enemy. So he stuns, I guess, which is fine. Only medium chance, but guess what? Where that's applicable, you're not running this guy because his stats are so damn low. He's getting you killed in 1 hit. This guy sucks. He's so bad. His passive here, attack defense 70% and a medium chance of evading enemy's attack, including super attacks, which is like fine, I guess, Then he gets 1 key plus an additional attack 20%, attack and defense 20% per existing enemy. So again, they want you to like run him in Super Battle Mode, I guess? But you're not, because he's so bad. I don't know, I don't get it. Like, additional attack and defense 20% like per existing enemy. But if this guy's getting attacked by multiple enemies, like if you take 2 super attacks from multiple enemies, like you're probably dead. So like you're not even getting this off. Like what's the point? Like, plus an additional attack 70% when performing a super attack. Guess what? You're not going to be because you're going to be dead. And then a high chance of launching an additional super attack when facing 2 or more enemies. But guess what? You're not, because you're going to be dead. Because he sucks. He's free to play. He's a World Tournament unit. His stats are so low. This guy's horrible. He actually is useless. He provides nothing. You're not going to be able to get anything off with him. Like, you're not getting any of his passive off because he's restricted to having to fight 2 or more enemies. But like, where in the game are you fighting 2 or more enemies outside of like a couple Dokkan events, maybe? Mostly Super Battle Road, right? But you're not taking this unit into Super Battle Road, so like it's like his passive is completely worthless. Like, this guy upon release has no where to be ran in the game, really. His design is so bad. This guy is a joke. He sucks. He's so bad. He's one of the worst free-to-play characters ever in the game, and I don't even know with his awakening what they're gonna do to make him runnable. Like, they're gonna have to bump everything up. Like, his stats are gonna have to go way up. They've yet to EZA World Tournament units, so I don't think that's anywhere in sight as of now. But yeah, he easily gets to be number 1 on this list because he's actually completely useless. There's nowhere in the game where you're actually using this guy. He's collecting dust forever in your box until he actually is good, which I don't ever think he will be. But I feel like a lot of these units, basically, the design of these units, they have a lot of flaws, right? That's basically the similarities that I have with these units. You can compare this list to like the worst units ever, right? For 2021, but more specifically, these are just on release when they actually came out in the game that I'm focusing on specifically, right? But yeah, there is my list. Just basically recap: Vegeta at 1, LR Shadow Dragons at 2, Piccolo 17, Gohan and Frieza and Piccolo. Like, you guys can see, like, these units, their kits are all just wonky. Like, the designs are poor, I feel like, and that's why they get to really be on this list, because they don't they don't compete with these other units that are being released that are just far better, right? Like, 17 just completely pointless. Dodoria and Zarbon just very wonky. Cabe needing a Vegeta, which he doesn't even work well with. It's very wonky. All these units are just wonky. Like, their designs are just extremely mid, poor, lacking. Yeah, dude, say what you want with all these characters. I just feel like these are pretty underwhelming characters, in my opinion, especially for a 2021 release. Like, all these units should have been a lot better on their release. Basically, is the point that I want to make with this video. So, with that, let me know what you guys think of my list of the worst units on release for 2021. And with that, that's going to do it with this video. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next one.